our guy's a train wreck, but we think the other guy's worse. And so, Sean, here's what I predict, and this is something I said last week on my podcast, Verdict with Ted Cruz. I think the odds are very significant that next summer at the Democrat National Convention, that the Democrat Party will jettison Joe Biden, will throw him off the ticket, and they will parachute in instead Michelle Obama to be their candidate. I think they're going to look to Michelle Obama as the savior to come in. And I think if that happens, that would be very, very dangerous. And every time I see a Democrat or one of their puppets in the press beginning to point out the problems with Joe Biden, every time that happens, the chances of that go up and up and up.
Do you see Michelle Obama wanting that?
You know, I don't know. I don't know Michelle very well. I've met her, but I don't know her well. But here's my thinking on this. If Joe Biden were out of the ticket, there'd be a bunch of Republicans running. You would have the top four, I think, would be Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, Elizabeth Warren, and Gavin Newsom. I think that'd be the top tier, and I think they'd fight like crazy. In an open primary, I actually think in that primary, I think Elizabeth Warren wins, because I think Elizabeth Warren is the closest to the id of the Democrat Party. It's where they are. You think about it in 2020, you had Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders splitting the crazy left-wing socialist moonbat lane of the Democrat Party. If Warren runs this time, she'll dominate that lane. Now, the problem is, if you're a Democrat who wants to win, that scares you. You look at Kamala Harris, and Kamala's numbers are worse than Joe Biden's. That scares you. And so I think as they're thinking about it, who you could put in, if the Democrats pick any of those four, you tick off the other three and risk alienating their supporters. I think Michelle Obama brings the Obama pedigree. She parachutes in with also the suit of armor of a first lady, with high positives and relatively low negatives. And I think they can justify to everyone who gets snubbed, well, look, we went with Michelle Obama instead. I don't know if she wants it, but I do think it would be much more attractive to her to come in next summer and just campaign a couple of months to the general, rather than having to spend 2 years campaigning vigorously on the ground.
Let me ask you, now that his cognitive decline seems to have significantly